Hello y'all, welcome to the channel, and today we are gonna get started here. For those new guys there, I just got this game, CarX Drift Racing Online. Welcome to the club. But I'm pretty sure you come looking for some tips, tricks, and well, all I got is tips and no tricks, but that's besides the point. Now, you will be starting, if you probably honestly know by now, you will be starting with 3 cars: the Hachiroku, the Panther M590S, and the VZ210. Now, if you are a true car nut, then you know what these 3 cars are, especially this thing. But we know this is a Miata MX-5, and this could be variously swapped front clip-wise between the Sprinter Tuna and the Corolla Levin AE86. Now, the rest of these are probably, priced out. Still cheap, but it'd be smart to start off with one of your first 3 cars of choice. But my car of choice today that I started with is Hachiroku. For one, the drift modification is pretty well set up when it comes to trans tuning. You will understand why here in a minute. But if you ever been to an online lobby right off the rip, and let me show you real quick, you come across a car with a swap that sounds like this. Yes, that wasn't a thing before, especially that's very humble beginnings. Anyways, besides the point. Now, at least for the Hachiroku, this is the best one to start with. That I know for sure. Now, if you don't want to spend your money on a drift mod right away, because that'll be the only thing available to you, you can go right ahead and suffer the, well, stock one. You'll understand why here in a moment, because limited steering angle. Steering angle is going to be key in this game. Straight up. Oh, what the? Okay, forget about that. Anyways, yeah. I'm going to show you in training. And it's probably best to do it on Winter Red Ring if you're able to get a hold of it on the single player run. But I will show you later that you can bypass all that in multiplayer. It's not hard. It's literally just you have all the tracks available to you on multiplayer, but limitations and all that. Get ourselves loaded up in here. If you really want to learn how to drift, at least low horsepower cars, this is the place to do it. It's literally all ice, unlike Castle Road, which is still a slick track, but this is way better. Oh yeah. So much in the power glory. Now, like I said, if you're going to be learning to drift on the stock setup alone, just remember it's got extremely limited angle. You could easily spin the sucker out. Like so, see what I mean? That's how much you got with this thing factory specs. But out here, you do this for a good 40. You learn to sit out here for a good 45 minutes in your own private locked online session. Well, you probably make at least a pretty decent amount of money to get, like, oh, say a body kit, that tune-up and stuff like that. A little extra, you know. But it's not hard to do it. You just gotta learn to be patient with it. And it's also recommended you go into, manual transmission mode, because automatic is still absolute garbage. Excuse me. Even after 2 years worth of updates, sadly. Because if anyone's driven on an automatic transmission in a car or a truck, whatever your vehicle is, well, let's just say it just goes up and up and up till it hits its, well, limit. But in this game, for whatever reason, their automatic transmissions just go by certain speed, and after that, it just shifts up to another one. For whatever reason, that's just weird. I'll give you a better example. Let me get out of manual mode and go to automatic gearbox type. It is absolute garbage. It just does not work right. See what I mean? It just goes right through the gears. And that's not a good thing. You don't want that. You do not want this. Anyways. Okay, let me get off this atrocity. back to my sweet manual. And if you think you're real ballsy, you can go manual clutch, but it's not recommended, especially, well, obviously there's not enough real buttons to set up the ignition and the starter, which I'll go ahead and show you, just so you're not in the hole with it and trying to figure out why is your car dead in the water, especially when you stall it. This is the power, and this is how you get your car to roll the hell over and get back going. But yeah, you're just better off just keeping your clutch on automatic mode. But it never hurts. Oh god, speed my have a dedicated clutch button set. That way you can manipulate it instead of rely on the handbrake to do that, because you still need momentum to keep drifting. Excuse me, allergies. But like I said, see what I mean? I can manipulate it still if I want to, but if you want to get from a roll or not stall it, that's pretty much the way to go. It's more precise, unfortunately, but that's the case with most games. Nothing's ever perfect. Not if I still spell it out. Anyways, you get the idea. Sorry, just trying to make a video when it's like 20 degrees outside, and I wish it was snowing, but not quite. Alright, back to the task at hand. Now, if you really want to be a baller at it, you go right for this. And, if you wish, slow it down to pause it at key points. But here's the tune for it just to get you started, and it's pretty decent for the way I got it set up. I'm pretty sure I haven't touched the transmission. Technically, it's a rear differential setup, but before this, we never had the option to mess with the differential on the car and the drift modification in general. So, take a gander, get yourself set up with it, take screenshots, whatever you gotta do. If you're watching this on your phone, it's way easier to take it with screenshots. Just pause it, make sure all the HUDs disappeared off the screen, just click it, screenshot. Figured I didn't touch this, so I might as well go ahead and give you that preset. Now with Ultimate Mod, you're gonna notice there's gonna be major differences between Ultimate Drift modification and this one. The steering angles are gonna be different, but way before we had new steering angle updated on the Ultimate Mod, we had to make do with what we got, which they were still a bit more better than Drift Mod, but still so limiting. And at the time, you probably go around and find some old videos that are like, say at least more than 6 months old. You will find like old someone's drift tunes or something like that, like Tight Skids, for example. Like, that's probably a good example of that right there. But I'll shut up so I don't continue on with this. Now, before you even start questioning the wheel and tire size, that's more style points. I can knock the tire size down, increase the rim size. There will really be no difference in the size and circumference of the wheels, just so you know. And just as I figured, I have not touched the tune since the updates, so a viscous diff would probably be recommended, but unless you really want to get, be that guy that's in the shade tree shop, put a spool in it, about the same as a welded diff. But you're gonna want viscous for this. Not too much lock, not too low. It's just right there in the middle. If you ever do launch control, never do it. That's more like an XDS tandem system you get involved with in the lobby at some point in your career here. So That's nobody uses it, let's be honest. If they do, they are fools. Now once you got this nifty little bugger set up, if you will notice, it'll be every stat will be manipulated. Wheel and tire sizes will give you more speed on a drift mod, but the acceleration will suffer, so keep that in mind. And once you're all set up here, you're all gonna want to go to a track. And the very first track you're gonna be starting with is obviously these two fellas here. Parking A and Parking A reverse. Excuse me. Now, with this setup, you should do pretty decent. I will give you a show on both Parking A and A reverse. And you're gonna be doing damn near all of these, even, yes, Milton Drive, which me and probably everyone else in this world knows this is Mount Panorama out in Australia. And that track is got some pretty long straights in there. If you think you can manji all the way down those things or chocodari that shit, be my guest. But I wait till you start getting the more curvier sections and get 16,000 points for those. But not worry about those later. They'll be locked to you because you have to spend money to make money, as one would say. Because these are going to be priced out certain ranges. The deeper the list you go, the higher the price is going to be, especially for the iconic East Toge, which we all know is Ebisu because it's got the course in there. If you look at the map layout, you'll notice some tighter lines there. That is the Ebisu layout, east side. All the rest of that's just added on there, you know, for, well, extra track size, which they didn't have to do that when they created this, but they did. Okay, I'm gonna shut up and get into this. Now you can see my best score with it is 23,000, and you only need 12,000. If you can overkill it as deep as you can, the more points you make, the more money you make. That's how they base it off of here. See, that's $8,000, right? Then you gotta add all kinds of multipliers to it for your performance. Let us go. What's interesting about this game, it has a controller assist, which all you have to do is guide it. As you can see with my pedal indicator, you see that little white line going the opposite direction of the blue bar. Yes, that blue bar shows how much angle the car is currently at wheel-wise. That little white line is how much steering you put into it to guide it. Sometimes you gotta go right to left and left to right. It's weird, you'll understand this at some point, but it takes some getting used to it first, especially if you're not used to it. Like, you're used to racing games that has that hardcore feeling where you have to carry yourself like Gran Turismo or some of the other Need for Speed games that ain't garbage. That's besides the point. I'll stop ranting right there. Now, if I could outdo my own score, that'd be impressive. Hitting wide, fast lines like this will score you some good score. Will get you some good score. I'll say that. Anyways, and easily outdone. Looky here, we got gold. And with this new update, we also get engine parts for various things we do in this game. For the 3.0 inline-6 turbo engine, and that you only can do engine swaps in the ultimate upgrade. But for getting the 3.0 inline-6 turbo engine, which is what is represented as a which represents the 2JZ in that game. You can only do it through these drift events. You will learn more as you go along. But right now I'm not going to spoil it for you. It's not hard to get these engine parts except for one of them, and that will be a 6.2 liter V8 supercharged that set. You will learn that soon enough. With others and maybe yourself down the line. But look at that. Look at those numbers. You look at the rewards down there. That's how much you'll make in one run. It's not hard to make money in this game. You just gotta stay consistent and smooth with it. Now I'm gonna go with the parking A reverse and just, keep it even so I'm not losing my mind. And yes, I'm that kind of person that does not like odd numbers. Kind of a pet peeve deal. That's some good Mountain Dew. One more lick the other direction and you'll get a rough sense and idea on it. And maybe I can outdo that old score too. Somehow I haven't done that yet. Now I'm just gonna shut up and let y'all enjoy the show. Okay, just don't do what I just did there. That's a no-no. I love it, right? Fucking screw up in front of the first turn. Jeez. Then again, this thing only has a maximum steering angle of 53 degrees. I did what I could to compensate for that, but just so you know, don't overdo it. Now, I'm pretty sure you're curious of what control scheme I use, and you probably saw like a brief of it. Which I don't mind sharing that at all, so. Here's the setup that I currently have for it. Take a gander if you wish. Screenshot it, whatever you gotta do. And just so you know, that's for PS4. When it comes to restoring a car, I got mine set to the touchpad when I just press on it. Just FYI. It may be different for your Xbox, maybe different for your PC, or if you're using your PC with a controller, whereas an Xbox controller or PlayStation controller, it does not matter. Just so you know. And there you have it. Pretty much. Now, don't worry about the rest of this stuff. It's usually fine where it's at. Now, if you're going to be doing what is called the left foot brake technique, make sure you have your brake linearity set to 0. All you have to do is just barely touch that brake. It'll respond to it. They'll force it to the outer line if need be, but a little too much, you're just gonna stall out on the spot. But other than that, there's your way to get started. Those 2 races alone, if you do well, get over 100,000. You can do whatever you like with this little ride. Say, oh, like this, and do a few other things. Now, once you get the kit, all these parts beyond that are free, except for the wheels. Except for the wheels, you gotta pay for those. And once you start leveling up in this game, you'll start getting access to better performance upgrades. Do this here. Do both my favorite seats. Now with the ultimate upgrade for mine, I do have an engine swap in it. That sounds way better than this poor old engine sound, and they still haven't improved upon it. Has not aged well. And yes, I am part of a crew before you ask. But we're strictly PS4 at the moment. Probably gonna stay like that, you know, keep the BS to a minimum. Now, this engine, the 2-liter, you can get through time attack. Which you can take the your stock version of your Hachiroku. It will do fine on the track. Just don't get too overly excited. Make sure you do a decent time. Because 2 minutes on some tracks is like what literally this car can do. Factory. But wait, I got this set up. Saucy. But yeah. I hope y'all find this helpful, because I hate to see new guys suffer, because I've been there. Trust me, I've been there. And all these tunes and all the tuning I've done is self-taught. Like pro levels of self-taught. Like I said, this is what lays before you when you hit the big leagues. Now I bid y'all farewell. Till next time. Keep it sideways. And let all the smoke flow.